How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I'm going to be going through the rest of these matches in round 1 today. We'll waste no time in doing so. If you'd like the video, get yourself subscribed to the channel. I'd appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description, or you can just hit the thanks below the video. It's entirely up to you. First things first, did we manage to get any winners today? There was nothing from me personally. Share with the group. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you come close? Don't be shy. Rinse and repeat, folks, same as yesterday. We're not going to waste a lot of time going too deep into each and every one of these. We'll save that for later on in the week. But we'll go through the majority of the main ones. And then same as yesterday, there's a couple that will sweep up towards the end. But first off, over in the Madrid Masters, got Etcheverry, Majedovic. Should be a decent one. So I think Majedovic gets this done. I do. Obviously, you'd say Etcheverry being the more proven over on the clay. I think Majedovic is quite solid on the clay too. They played each other once before. That was back in 2023. Over on the clay too, that went the way of the Argentine. Etcheverry ain't been that good. Ain't been that good this season. I haven't been too impressed, I won't lie to you. 9 and 13 overall, 4 and 6 on the clay, 4 and 6 on the hard court too. Yeah, it's tough to guess which version of this guy is going to turn up. I've been a lot more impressed with Majedovic just as a whole this season. 17 and 6 on the year, 4 and 2 on the clay, 11 and 2 indoors on the hard court. Fantastic. Look, putting it plainly, we've seen him beat the likes of Medvedev, Tsitsipas already this season. Why would he not be able to take advantage of an out of form Etcheverry? I'm just saying, it's food for thought, innit? Look, I'll say it just once more, it is the first round. You've got to see who wants to be here and who doesn't. More importantly, who deserves to be here and who does not. I'd be willing to bet that Majedovic gets this one done. Am I going to take it? I'm not too sure. 1.7, that's a decent price. That's not a bad price whatsoever. You know, if this just happens to be one of the few games that Etcheverry will win in the form that he's currently in, you're just shit out of luck. You are. I thought Majedovic has looked decent. He's looked decent so far. He's already beat Hugo Delene, Gabe Diallo and Pechi Pericard. He got beat by Casper Ruud last week over in Barcelona. You know, what are you going to do about that? I think he's got enough to get past Etcheverry, but it shall remain to be seen. And we'll move on to Alexander Vukic, Kai Nishikori. It's going to be a quick one. This is going to be a quick one. Look, straight off the bat, folks, you're getting Nishikori 1.4. Alexander Vukic hasn't won a game, it feels like, all season. He's won one of his last 10. That's dating back to the end of January in the Davis Cup. Nah. Absolutely not. Ben Shelton, Nishioka, Pacheco Mendes, Tristan Boyer, Bubler, Goffin, Hugo Delene, Pierre Hughes Herbert, and then Billy Harris. They're all the losses, 9 straight. He's won a set in pretty much all of them, apart from the first two, you know, the Shelton and Nishioka games. Dallas and Delray Beach, they were. So I don't know, maybe it's not through lack of trying, but it's no secret this guy is in one hell of a slump at the moment. This guy's in the fucking mud. Nishikori, I would not be picking him with much conviction either, especially on the clay. Tends to do the majority of his business on the hard court, but like I say, the levels of trust currently with both of these are extremely low. Nishikori being such a big favourite there, I think that speaks volumes. It does. That tells you how much of a shitter Alexander Vukic is on at the moment. It would have to be Nishikori or not. You can't just guess. You can't just hit and hope and go, oh yeah, I'll just go for Vukic, he's definitely going to win this one. There's nothing to assume that. You could just take a punt on it. If it comes in, you'll look like a genius, but that's all it is, just a punt. Food for thought. Who've we got next? Demir Juma, Matteo Bellucci. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. They've played each other once before, back in 22, so maybe we can scrap that. That was on the clay as well. 6-2, 6-1, going the way of Matteo Bellucci. Now, as soon as I looked at this, I thought I probably wouldn't mind taking them as a dog. Both of them are on 2-game losing streaks. Bellucci's been beat by Fabio Marzan and Kecmanovic, and then Damir Juma's been beat by Cam Norrie and Sebastian Baez, both of them coming in straight sets for the pair of them. Once again, you'd say Damir is a lot more trustworthy on the surface. Bellucci, he had one hell of a season on the clay back in 22. It seems like he struggled to somewhat replicate that in the season since. Maybe he's shifted his focus more onto the hard court, I'm not so certain. You have to admit there's a lot more upside with this lad. A lot more upside. I like to use the phrase you usually gamble on the unknown, but it's not like I don't really have a lot of concerns regarding Matteo Bellucci in this matchup. I'm more, what's the phrase, cautiously optimistic. Yeah. I believe he could definitely get one done over the Damir Juma. He's already beaten before. Okay, it was a while ago. He's only a slight dog in this. I don't know. It's tough one. Look, Damir's he's much more experienced. I mean, at one point, what's that? 1.7, 1.8 roundabout. It really is a coin flip. It's a coin flip statistically on paper as well. You'd look at it and you'd say no, Damir probably should get this done, but I don't really think it's cut and dry just like that. So we'll move on to David Goffin, Alexander Muller. It's another coin flip, is it not? I'd say so. I think last time out we seen Muller get beat by Zverev over in Munich and he fisted him as well. I thought it may have been a little bit closer than that. He had a closer game with Medvedev over in Monte Carlo before it got to that third set, and then he just ultimately unravelled. David Goffin looked okay over in Munich before he bumped into Cerundolo and he got bullied by him. You pay your money, you take your choice, you flip a coin, heads for David Goffin, tails for Alexander Muller. It's really one of them. Maybe go with the over. I don't know, something's telling me just to slightly lean towards David Goffin in this, especially as a dog. It's only a slight one. He has beat Carlos Alcaraz fairly recently. You can say what you want about that, but I'm just trying to pick something that would separate these two apart, and that's probably the only outlier. I don't know. It doesn't mean much. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I think David Goffin's got more than enough to pull off the upset in this one. I don't know. You let me know. And we'll move on. One sec. Excuse me. Who have we got here? Daniel Altmaier, Nicholas Jarry. Now at first glance here, this is quite a close one according to the bookies. 1.7 for Daniel Altmaier is what it says for me right now. And considering it's that close on paper, my question to you is why? Because Nicholas Jarry is still yet to get a win. That one win against Cerundolo over in Rio, and then the one against Benjamin Bonzi, 2 of his last 10, that's dating back to the fucking right at the start of the year. It's the same story every time with Nicholas Jarry. Well, it has been all season. What's going on, man? What's going on? 3-8 on the year, 1-6 on the clay. Now he got beat by Hugo Humbert over in Munich, and then we seen Hugo Humbert get smoked by Fabio Marzan like that. Maybe that says a lot. I don't know. It's rough, man, because a lot of them losses, like, he is taking sets as well. It's not through lack of trying. He's just missing that special something. I'm not too sure what it is, and I wouldn't be willing to bet he finds it in this one. We know what we're going to get from Daniel Altmaier. Solid, pretty much as solid as they come. We win when he knows when we assume he's going to win. And the games we think he doesn't stand a chance, he usually gets beat. Like the game against Zverev, like the game against Alcaraz. But pretty much all the ones in between, usually good to go. He's had to qualify for this, which is mad, isn't it? Which is mad. If I was Daniel Altmaier, I'd feel a little bit insulted that I'd had to qualify for this and Nicholas Jarry hadn't. But that's just the way it is. Altmaier looks solid against Van Ash. Had a decent game against Daniel Galan as well. I'd be willing to bet he gets it done against Nicholas Jarry at 1.7. Since it's as close as that, I don't know. Take him for the set. It's a nice piece of pie, if you want my opinion. And then we'll crack on to Zizou Bergs. Nishioka, is that? It's got to be Zizou Bergs. Got to be Zizou Bergs. I don't know how much I trust Nishioka, to be honest with you. This guy is... Look, Zizou Berg can be a little bit erratic too. He can be a little bit explosive, a little bit erratic. Nishioka, I don't know. With it being on the clay as well, he's never really amounted to anything. Solely does his business over on the hard court. He always has done. Zizou Bergs is decent. This guy's all-terrain, I think. He's like an all-terrain guy. It doesn't really matter where he is. You get a solid level from him. I think he's a better clay player. He's more suited to the clay as well than Nishioka. Did get beat last time out by Fabian Madison over in Munich, but as we just mentioned, Fabian Madison was playing quite alright. He's playing now, I think. I don't know what the score is. I'll check in a sec for those that care. He's playing Flavio Cabali, isn't he? Yeah, 1.2. I think it's set in stone. I don't think Zizou Bergs gets beat here. I really don't. Straight sets. Easy as you like. Do what you want with that. And then we'll crack on. Waste no more time with that. Oh, we're making good pace here, folks. We really are. Look, it's the first round, innit? It's the first round. You don't really need to dive too deep into all of these. Look, I mean, you could talk about all of these for hours and hours on end, and then it wouldn't mean shit come the next day. So we've got Lorenzo Sonego, Kecmanovic. We've seen this one quite a lot over the years. 5-3 is the head-to-head to Sonego. We beat him twice last year, once on the grass, once on the hard court. Both in straight sets. 4 sets, 2 games, 3 tiebreakers. All of them going away of Sonego. Both of these are just super inconsistent, aren't they? You never know what you're going to get with these. They can both play really good or they can both play really shit. 8 and 10 on the year for Sonego, 14 and 11 for Kecmanovic. Been a little bit more impressed with Kecmanovic than what I have with Sonego, I'll be honest with you. Quite a big favourite, 1.6. I don't know. Maybe that's right. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't go anywhere near this game, even if it did. I couldn't tell you. Head to head would suggest Sonego's got this one in the bag. Odds would suggest otherwise. I don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know what version of Sonego is going to turn up. You don't need me to tell you he's got more than enough to beat Kecmanovic. He's already done it 5 times. Would you be surprised to see him make it 6? Absolutely not. So we'll move on to very well. What do we have here? Got Quinton Halys, Luciano Darderi. Now you're just going to look at this and you're going to go, Darderi, next one. I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Although Darderi didn't look that great against Ben Shelton in the quarterfinals in Munich, we cannot forget. That doesn't mean he's out of form either. He's still banging form. 8 of his last 10. There's a title in there as well in Marrakesh. Fantastic. He's already won a title as well not that long before that. Back-to-back finals and then a title. Back-to-back-to-back finals. You know, kid's playing really good. Lad's playing really, really good. Quinton Halys, you'd probably look at Halys and go, ain't been too great that year. Ain't been too great this year. Rather, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. We haven't seen that much. Been struggling, man. He's been struggling, hampered with these slight injuries. 10 and 8 on the year. That's a lot better than what I would have expected or what I would have guessed anyway. Now, if you want my opinion on this, look, what we've seen at Quinton Halys, let's not forget, it weren't that long ago, well, a couple months ago. He's beaten the likes of Rublev, Carreño Busta, Sabo Filled. Took a set off Felix Auger-Aliassime. Took a set from Musetti as well. He's a really good player and he's tough to beat. Tough to beat. We learned this last season when we were I can't remember what tournament it was. It may have been around this time. I think it may have been. Don't quote me on that. Look, my point is, Halys is more than experienced to get this one done. He's taken out well better opponents than Luciano Darderi on his day. It's just if he can bring it. I haven't really seen anything as of late that would suggest he's going to be able to take on the informed Italian in this one. You probably would side with Darderi in this, but I'm not picking it with much conviction. Like, just, if you don't know, just be warned, Halys is tricky, man. He's tricky, and if he serves well, there's enough 3 points just behind the serve alone. He's very tough to break, but I don't know. His fitness may just get the better of him. We'll see. And who's next? I think majority of these are going to be quick, you know. There's a couple there, yeah. I've picked out the stragglers already that we'll finish off towards the end. And we'll touch on these before we wrap it up. We've got Vukic, Van der Zandschulp, Jan Leonard Struff. You know what I always say, I don't do any business with Vukic, Van der Zandschulp. It's no offence, it's not impersonal whatsoever. He didn't even make it through qualifying. He was the favourite against Juan Manuel Cerundolo, and he just couldn't get it done. As hard as he tried, couldn't get that one done. Jan Leonard Struff's just in an absolute rut, isn't he? This guy's in the fucking mud, man. I mean, what's it going to take for Struff to get a win? Head-to-head's one apiece for the pair of them. Struff did actually beat him in Munich last year on the clay too. 3-11. 3-11 for Struff, man. What are you going to do with this guy? I don't know what's to be done with him. You can't take him. I'm not telling you to take Van der Zandschulp at all. I'm really not. 1.6 on the decimal. Struff just can't win. He tries and he tries and he tries and he can't beat anyone. Why would this one be any different? Not too sure. So we'll crack on. We'll touch on that in a sec. We'll touch on that. Selling Griekspoor, Vicuna. What's going to happen here? Can you hear that? I don't know what's going on downstairs, by the way. There's just a shitload of banging. I do apologise if that's coming through. Getting selling Griekspoor 1.3. Maybe it's as easy as that. Maybe it's just as easy as that. He has beaten once before. That was in the Bundesliga a couple of years ago. Scrap that. Vicuna, man, we seen a lot of this guy over in, was it Marrakesh? It was one of them. He won that title over in Naples. Ended up getting beat by Darderi in the quarterfinals. He took out Vukic and then Valentin Royer both in 3 sets over in qualifying. Griekspoor last time out nearly beats Zverev once again. 3 sets, very close one. You'd say he's better than Vicuna. I would anyway. As far as his clay game, fairly consistent enough. Prefers the hard court, no secret. Vicuna is most definitely a clay court player, if anything. Could definitely pose a few problems, couple of issues for Griekspoor on the day, but realistically, Talon Griekspoor should be good enough to get this one done. He's been fantastic this year, Annie. We've said that a few times, but I'll say it again. Really, really impressed with Griekspoor this year. I'd imagine he's got enough in the bag to see that one through. Where do we go from here? I'll tell you what, a couple more, and then we'll go through the stragglers. So this one, we've got João Fonseca, Muller, or Molleker, however you want to pronounce it. João Fonseca, 1.4. I imagine there's a lot of you who are going to be going for that today, at least sticking it on your parlays. 5-1 on the clay this year, 14-3 for Muller. This kid's decent, you know. This lad's decent. For those that may not be that familiar with him, let me tell you, he's really good. He smokes people. When he beats people, he beats the fuck out of them as well. Looks solid against Nishioka. I expected that. Looked even better against Majedovic. We know how solid that lad is too. Last time out with Fonseca, we seen him have a close one with Minaur. did win the title over in Phoenix. He beat Lane Etienne and then Hugo Humbert before getting beat by Minaur over in Miami. I haven't seen him since March. Well, about a month. He's had a month off, more than rested. Is he good to go for this one? Muller's just come off a title over on the Challenger on the clay, I think. Is that the clay? Yeah. Just won a title on the clay and then he just flew through qualifying too. I'd be very wary. Both of them are very, very young. Fonseca 3 years younger, admittingly. I don't know, man. Fonseca's going to have that fucking travelling circus with him today, isn't he? He's going to have all that shit that he brings with him, and it's very, very hard to deal with. We'll see how well Muller gets on, and if he's in round 2, we'll deal with it then. But I think it's a big ask to get past Joao Fonseca. He's really good. And if he's who everyone thinks he is, you probably should, well, you could probably say he gets this one done, or at least should be getting it done. And then we'll go with Boo and Jacob Fearnley, and then we'll wrap this shit up. Played each other twice before. Jacob Fearnley beat him twice last year. Once on the grass, once on the hard court. Good shit. I've been happy with what I've been watching with Jacob Fearnley the past couple of weeks. Super happy with that performance against Carbias Baena. And then I've kept my eye on him through qualifying. I've watched both his games. He looked decent against Kotov. Everyone writ him off in that one. And then everyone writ him off again against Hugo Delene, and he won that one in straight sets. Booz went 2-3 on the clay on the year, 7-12 overall. Jacob Fearnley 16-9. Say something about me boy, he's rather good, is he not? Look, he beat Boo twice last year. I mean, there's nothing to suggest that, yeah, we've got a very, very small sample size on the clay from both of them. But I'm starting to think, and like I say, it could just be too soon to say, but I'd be willing to bet that the clay is not Boo's strong suit. We know what he can do on the hard court. It really suits him. Clay, maybe not so much. You know, the 2 wins he's got on the clay, Budkov, Kiar, and Ramos Vinales in straight sets. Did take a set off Musetti over in Monte Carlo, but everyone did. That was just written in the stone, weren't it? Musetti's going to get smoked in the first set and then make us come back all the way to the final. Look, Bookies have got this very close, you know. This is more or less split down the middle. I'm seeing Jacob Fearnley at 1.8, a little bit more, roundabout. Now, you know me, I don't really like having a go on these first rounds, and I usually sit off, and I know I keep saying I'm probably just going to sit on the outrights until we get into the second round, but you know what? At 1.8, 1.85, I can live with being wrong at that price, if you know what I mean. You get me? Yeah, I'm sure you do. I don't know. I'm very, very tempted by that. I think Jacob Fearnley will fancy himself. He's already got two warm-up games under his belt. Yeah, I fancy it, you know. I might go for it. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. But with all them being said, we'll go through these fucking stragglers really quick. So look, Matteo Arnaldi, Bona Koric, no idea, folks. I'm here. It's been quite some time since I've seen Matteo Arnaldi play some solid tennis. You know when he's playing good. You know, it's very obvious when he's playing good. And I don't think I can trust him, especially as a favourite. Bona Koric, pretty much the same as this dude too. I don't know. Probably taking over. I can see both of them struggling in that one. Martin Landelus, Cam Norrie. Landelus, you know, he's only been playing for a couple of years. He's won 2 of his last 10. Cam Norrie's won 4 of his last 10. You've got to go with the experience. Martin Landelus is playing at home, so he may have just that extra something, but I don't think it'll count for much in a spot like this. Ralia Pelka and Dinky. You'd say Ralia Pelka. any other time of the year on this, any other season, you'd probably say Rally Pelka, but I don't know. It's been a couple months, and it's been a couple months since the very start of the season when it felt like Rally Pelka was going to be one of the best players on the tour, but we quickly realised that it's going to be the same old story, same old song and dance for our Riley, unfortunately. First round, he should be good to go. If you're going to take him, you probably take him in the first round. It is dinky after all, and that's not impersonal. And then look, last one, Lane Etienne, Marcus Giron. Once again, you could talk about this one for ages, or it could just take a few seconds. Neither one of the very small sample size from Lane Etienne on the clay, admittedly. Marcus Giron. We've seen season after season after season since pretty much 2011. He just ain't got it. He ain't got what it takes to play on this surface, and I don't really know why. It is what it is. It ain't all too bad because he's quite alright over on the hard court. You go with the unknown with Lane Etienne. You go with, I'd say, what you know, what little you know, with Marcus Giron in this spot. Combine them both. It's a very volatile mixture. I have no idea what happens in this. Lane Etienne could just do what he does every now and then. He could just turn up as a dog and wipe the floor with Marcus Giron. It happens. But then Marcus Giron could just beat him. You wouldn't be surprised either way. That's going to do us, folks, very well then. Very well. Sound. Yeah, look, on that Jacob Fearnley one, if it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. I'm very tempted. I might talk myself into it, but as always, you let me know what you're going for. Best bets, all that stuff. NHL playoffs, MLB, anything you've got. I'm always interested to hear what you're going on. Right then, I'll be saying good night to you. You take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Like and subscribe. Let's go get that cash, yeah. Always a pleasure doing business with you folks. Let's go get that though. Enjoy the games today, and I'll see you tomorrow.